If you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you can relate to the fact that you can't remember the last time that you worked only 9 to 5. I mean, that's so true. We only have so many hours in a day, and especially if we're starting our own business. Well, my next guest, Daven Michaels, is here to help us with that very strategy. Daven, welcome.
Kristen, thanks for having me.
I mean, it's so true. We're starting our own business. We're an entrepreneur. I mean, sometimes I know myself, I'm working till 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's the entrepreneur's curse. There's just not enough time in a day. And if you're watching this segment and you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you're feeling the pinch for sure. And the reason why is today there's so much on the entrepreneur's plate. There's so much they can do because of technology. And also so many entrepreneurs are working from home. So they have less help than they've ever had before.
You know, I've heard the saying before that you're a solopreneur, but I don't really think there's any such thing as a successful solopreneur.
That's right. You're right. You're only as good as your team. It's impossible to be sort of one man or one woman band doing your own thing. You have to have help. You have to have a team.
What does that mean in terms of the amount of income that you can make? You know, a lot of entrepreneurs are like, well, they can only make so much money. Why is that? Why are they limited by that?
Well, I think they're limited to their own work. You know, instead of having leverage, they're just doing everything on their own, and that's why they need a team or a workforce. And today, when we're going to talk about this, there is a solution, and that solution is outsourcing or delegation.
So what do you mean exactly by outsourcing? Is that different than just hiring someone off of Craigslist?
Well, that could also be outsourcing as well. Absolutely. You know, I think now today we're in what I call outsourcing 2.0. So the original outsourcing was India, and that was the large companies that were utilizing these services. But today, outsourcing 2.0 is where entrepreneurs are using outsourcers, and they're using Craigslist and Elance, and they're also using managed facilities like our company, and very successfully.
One of the things that I know myself as an entrepreneur is that when I try to do everything in my business, and I'll use the example of websites, you know, I'm not a great programmer. That's not my zone of genius.
Sure, right.
But I spent about 9 weeks inside my business trying to build a website until I finally said, this is costing me more money than it would cost to just outsource it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, let's face it, you're not a web designer, and if you were going to hire a web designer, would you hire somebody with 9 weeks of experience? Of course not, absolutely. Now, I do believe that we can sometimes outsource, you know, too much initially, and I guess what I'm getting at is that it's good for you to have a cursory overview of what needs to happen. I find that a lot of entrepreneurs turn a blind eye to what they need to know. So it's important that they understand the nuances, but then they outsource it to somebody else so that they have leverage. Really, the entrepreneur today, a business owner, should be focused on the IGAs in their business, their income-generating activities, the things that actually generate them business generate money in their business for them, and then everything else should be outsourced or delegated.
So as an entrepreneur or someone who's starting a business, how do we know which task we should do ourselves and which task we should assign someone to help us with?
Great question. Well, in my new book that is actually coming out right now, it's called Outsource Smart, I actually cover this. And you know, I'm sure that you'll agree, Kristen, that in your business, you're an entrepreneur, there's about 1,000 tasks every day that you can do in your business, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I just want to look at this cover.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
bright,
yes,
shiny
indeed.
book.
But there's only a small handful that actually create immediate bottom line results in your business, and that's what I call income generating activities. So I always tell people, if you're taking a look and trying to figure out what you want to be outsourcing, take a blank sheet of paper, put a line down in the middle. On the left-hand side, put all the tasks in your business. On the right-hand side, put the income generating activities, the things that create immediate bottom line results in your business. Then circle everything that could be outsourced or delegated. And then also, there are going to be some things on your list that you may think can't be outsourced or delegated. But then go back and say, hey, if I had about 30 days to train somebody, could it be done? And circle those. And that's what you should outsource.
So it's interesting. What's possible if you bring in the right team? I mean, how many hours do you need to work a week as a successful entrepreneur making good money?
Yeah, well, you know, I do have friends that work about 10 hours a week, and I think that's fantastic. But I'll tell you what's happened for me in my life. Today we have hundreds of employees at our company. I travel all over the world. I live a global lifestyle. I speak to audiences in Europe and Asia, and I absolutely love it. And at the same time, I'm running a brick and mortar business that has having some pretty extreme growth, and that's what's possible.
Daven Michaels, thank you so much for being here with us. Outsource Smart.
Thanks for having me.